Hello there, it's Suzanne here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about editing, proofreading, and formatting. These are really important components to self-publishing your own book because even though you're self-publishing, you don't want to make it look like you're self-publishing. You want to make your book look as professional as possible. So there's a couple of things that I need to stress. One is that if you're on a budget, and because most of my clients are small business owners, most of them, quite frankly, are on a bit of a budget. And I have heard of people getting a quote for editing that's ten or $20,000. But I don't want you to worry because you don't have to spend that much money. Now, I do get editors from time to time emailing me, getting mad at me, saying, "How could you tell people that they can get cheap editing? You know, that's a disgrace to our profession." And don't get me wrong, I used to work as an editor. I think editors deserve to make money, and I totally get it, of course, right? You're not going to spend $1 and get someone to professionally edit your book. But there are ways of going around it if you are on a budget. First of all, editing and proofreading. What's the difference between editing and proofreading? Well, proofreading is going through your book looking for typos and basic spelling mistakes and that kind of thing. Editing is more in-depth. Basically, you're looking for subject-verb agreement if things don't really flow properly, if you're using the pronoun he for in some instance, and then a little bit later you're using she, you've switched it or you switched names, or things that just don't really make sense, things that need to be rewritten. Sometimes you can, as an editor, you can look at the flow. I mean, I like to have a nice rhythm to writing, so it could be, long sentence, long sentence, long sentence, short. Like you just want to kind of make it flow nicely. So that's the different. Sorry, let me get rid of this stupid thing. Okay, don't show this message again. How about that? Um, so that's the difference between editing and proofreading. So after you've finished writing your book and you feel like this is it, this is final, it's good. Like read through it a few times. The first thing you should do when you think it's done is go somewhere where no one is around and read your whole book out loud, slowly out loud. Because when you're reading it in your head, you go really fast and you can skip over things. So read it out loud to yourself. Don't do this on the bus because you might look like a crazy person. Do it maybe in your office or in your bedroom with the door closed so you can just read the whole thing out loud. It might take a while depending on how long the book is. And you'll find things, okay? You also might want to print it out, and you can email it or take it over to a copy shop and get them to print it for you because it probably costs you a fortune in ink if you do it at home, but maybe not. Who knows? Do whatever you want, but print it out, and then you can write on it anywhere you see there's mistakes that need to be changed. So that's the first step. Second step is what I do is I send it to a friend, and or my mom reads most of my books because she just is so supportive and nice. So send it to a friend or your spouse, someone that you can trust that also needs to read through it. Don't be afraid of criticism. It's only because they care and they want it to be really great. So don't be too married to the idea of it being the way it is. All right, so then that's the second step. Third step would be to hire an editor. And what you can do is you can go over to a website called Odesk, and I'll just show you where that is. Okay, so you go up here and you just type in Odesk, and this is what it looks like. And you can uh, sign up for free, and you look for a freelancer. So let's say we want to look for an editor. You type in editor, and you search, and then it says here, editor freelancers, there's 30,000 of them. So how are you going to narrow it down? Well, first of all, you're going to narrow down by price. So you can scroll down here. They also have feedback scores. So what I would do is I would pick someone with a feedback score of probably 4 and above. Okay, so let's pick them, all the ones that are 4 and above. We're going to want to scroll down. Let's just look on the right hand side for a minute here. You can see Ken Paxson, he's $13.33 an hour. Lindsay K is $30 an hour. Cindy is $50 an hour. Iban is $8.89. Now he is from Spain. You can see right here what country they're from. Now a lot of the Europeans speak English perfectly. So that might be a way of doing it. But you might want someone in your own backyard or in your own country because they're, a native English speaker. That's up to you. So personally, I think there are a lot. A couple of years ago, I found an editor in the United States who was she'd been laid off in 2009 when all that economy crash stuff happened, and she was had been working at a very low paying job during the day and was doing editing at night, and she was very reasonably priced. I actually still use her. So let's say you want a minimum of $5 an hour and a maximum of a maximum of, let's say you want to pay someone $25 an hour maximum. That's going to narrow it down for you, okay? So you got your, let's say, oh, this guy looks good, I'd like to hire him. Click on that, click on his name, look at it, and you can go from there. Basically, if you look at his work history and his feedback, he's only had one job, and and the feedback was good work, and so you kind of go, I don't know if I want someone who's only had. Oh no, sorry, over here it says he's had 6 jobs. He's had 6 jobs. You might want to look at his feedback, see what they say, and then if you want to hire him, you just click on post a job, and so you've got to sign up, get an account, and which I'm not going to do because I already have an account. And basically, you just post your job, and then you invite him or whoever you want to apply, and then communicate with them like you would normally, and go from there. What I usually do is I say that like a fixed price. Like I'll say something like I'll pay you, whatever it is, $15 an hour for to a maximum of 150 hours, for 10 hours. Would you be interested? Like, what do you think you could get done in 10 hours? Like that sort of thing. And then if I want to pay them more, I can pay them more, but I'm not suddenly going to get a bill for $800, right? So that's what you would do for finding an editor. Okay. And then go back again. Let's look at, you could do the same for proofreading, but if you've looked at it yourself and your friend has looked at it, it might be okay just to get it edited. And you can ask the person to proofread it while they're at it. It kind of goes hand in hand when you hire an editor. So that's what I have to say about editing and proofreading. All right, now as for formatting, this is a big one. The formatting is crucial because you're going to have to format your book so that it looks totally professional before you upload it to Amazon. And so in my more in-depth courses that I have a course on how to self-publish, and I have a couple of courses out there right now. I have a big home study course called the Expert Author Program, and then I have a monthly coaching program as well. And all those courses include very specific information on how to format your book, which I don't really have time to get into on this little mini course. But basically, you want to make sure that you have mirror margins on your document, and that is so that basically there's a wider margin in this near the spine of the book, like the inside of the book. The margin's wider there than it is on the outside edges, because when they bind the book together, then it makes the margins equal on each side. So if you're formatting your document and you go into and you click on mirror margins under the setup, you'll see what I mean by that. You also want to make sure that the page numbers are all correct at the bottom, and you want to make sure there's no hyperlinks in your book because it's going to be a printed, paperback book, and so it looks kind of weird when hyperlinks are bolded and underlined in a printed paperback book. That's a good tip for you. And also, make sure that your table of contents is correct and that you're using the right headings for all the chapters. So, like I said, there's way more information about this in my full in-depth courses, but just make sure the formatting is good. And if you want our company to do it for you, you can. Just ask. We do this for people all the time. So that's all I need to say about editing, proofreading, and formatting. So I hope you're writing your book, and we'll see you in the next video.